From the heart of Tangipahoa Parish, Independence, it's Ragusa True Value Hardware and Building Supply. Lawn and garden supplies, paint, electrical, plumbing. If you're going to build or remodel, anything for your home. And Ragusa delivers anywhere. Get your lumber, roofing, all your building supplies. Ragusa Hardware and Building Supply, Independence. Compare our prices, tell others about our service. Ragusa's in Independence.
Dodge Rodeo Days are here at Gill Motor Company, Highway 38 in Kentwood, Louisiana. Come in today and drive a 98 Dodge 1500 for only $2.99 a month. How about the all-new 98 1500 Quad Cab 4x4 Sport? Save $2,000 off MSRP. Plus, register to win a weekend getaway at the Grand Hotel Marriott Resort and Golf Club. Dodge Rodeo Days, going on now at Gill Motor Company, Highway 38 in Kentwood, Louisiana. And remember, you always get a great deal from Gill.
Rocky's Body Shop, the oldest independent body shop in Tangipahoa Parish. Ken and Joey Mayu will repair all body works no matter how large or small. Looking for that special color? Rocky's can make any and all colors with their latest state-of-the-art computer coloring. Rocky's offers free pickup and delivery in the local area. Fast, courteous service, free estimates, accepting all insurances, and guaranteed work. That's what makes Rocky's the best.
Northlake Cellular is your one-stop, locally owned communications headquarters and getting better all the time. Northlake now has prepaid cellular from Bell South Mobility. No contracts, no hassle, and you stay within your budget. Plus, Northlake Cellular has all kinds of pagers with local billing and service that starts at just $7.95 a month. And Northlake Cellular is the only authorized service center for Bell South Mobility in this area. They sell it, they service it. Northlake Cellular on Kate Street in Hammond.
There aren't too many second chances in life, so HBO's bringing you Second Chance Tuesday. Because how often do you get another shot at something you missed?
Hallelujah!
Like this, or even this. Every Saturday on HBO, you're guaranteed a new movie. You know that. What you might not know is that you get another crack at it Tuesday night. Because on HBO, if you miss Saturday Night Guarantee,
el número uno,
you need Second Chance Tuesday.
Welcome to tonight's Tangipahoa Television Game of the Week. The playoffs begin tonight. We are here in Tiger Town in Independence, where the second-ranked Independence Tigers take on the Plaquemine Devils. There's a full moon out tonight, and when they landed on the moon for the first time, they said one giant leap for mankind. Tonight's your first big leap toward the Superdome, Coach. What do y'all have to do tonight to beat this Plaquemine team?
We got to be consistent on offense. They're going to make some big plays because of what their style of play. They're going to give you an 11-man line and try to crowd everything up on the line of scrimmage, so we're going to have to be able to throw it. We're very fortunate enough, though, that we feel like we can throw it. So we're going to have to make some big plays because that's what everybody's that's beaten Plaquemine has done to them. They made big plays against them.
Well, last week against Salmon, your offense struggled just a little bit. Probably the best defense we've seen all year, probably the best defense y'all will see all year. Do you think the running game is going to be very important tonight, get Brandon on track?
Yeah, we're going to have to run the ball some. There's no question about it. But, you know, last week was a prime example of a good defense. Whenever you got a good defense, I mean, it's just hard to get anything going. And Salmon had a great defense. So, you know, hopefully we'll get it going tonight.
And, Coach, you know, the first playoff game, I don't know that you expected a team of this caliber. You know, probably the toughest wild card that you could get.
Could very well be the toughest wild card. They're the third highest rated wild card, but they got an awful lot of size and they got a lot of speed in the backfield. But you know, if we're going to win it, do what we want to do, we got to go through Plaquemine anyway. So this is a big game for us. But in order for us to get where we want to get, this is just another opponent. So we got to look at it that way.
Well, Coach, good luck to you tonight. We appreciate you taking a few minutes. We're going to be back right after they warm up and get ready for the kickoff tonight here. It's going to be a big game here tonight to see if the Tigers could take that big step and get to the Superdome. And Plaquemine, a tough team. They have 15 kids over 260 pounds, play the same style of defense as Salmon, Marty. So we're looking forward to a great ball game, and we're going to bring it to you right after they get warmed up. We're about an hour before game time. We want to thank Coach Baggs for coming out, and we'll see y'all in just a few minutes.
And it is game time, folks, here at Tiger Stadium. The second-ranked Independence Tigers and the wild card team from Plaquemine, the Devils,
and it is kickoff time, and the folks are packed in here tonight. There's purple and gold everywhere, Marty, on a beautiful, little chilly night here, but much better than last week, not very windy, so a gorgeous night for high school football here in Independence.
Well, it definitely is, Darrell, and it starts the second season. Well, actually the third season. What you have is you have pre-district, you have district, and then you play the playoffs. You wipe out all the records, and you start from here. Takes 5 games to win the state championship, and that's what Independence's goal is, and that's what they're working toward. And they'll get their first opportunity tonight against the wild card Plaquemine Green Devils.
And Peter Vila, this old football player, is set back to receive as the Tigers will kick off from their 40. Number 3, Antron Sieber, the quarterback, will do the kicking off here tonight. The fans are rocking. Kick is away. It's a nice kick. Will be fielded inside the goal line as they wave it off, and there will be a touchback, I believe, as the whistle blew. And it did not blow, but they will bring it out to the 25-yard line, where Plaquemine will come in on offense. Last week, Marty, the Independence defense stepped up, won the football game from when the offense struggled a little bit. Big play capabilities on defense, led by Antoine Courtney, Drake up front, and also the linebacker Smith and McLean, and also the very underrated defensive back who's done a fine job. So big, huge offensive line for Plaquemine as the Devils come out here. 3-back set. Vila is the deep back. Samarange is the quarterback. Surveys the defense. He will turn a hand to the fullback. He's going to be driving up the middle. Will pick up about 3 yards. Hit hard down by Devarius Bess.
Well, they come out in a 3-set back right there, and they run a little trap play up the middle to Jay Crochet, and he picks up about 7. Now, Plaquemine relies heavily on Jules Blanchard, number 26, who's gained 1,300 yards. They do like to pass occasionally, but they're a predominantly running power team and go behind that big offensive line.
They have one receiver to the top half of your screen. Morange turns, hands the ball to number 26. He's hit hard at the line, and the Jules Blanchard there dragged down inside. Looking for the number there. Looks like McLean and Drake, and it's hard to get the ball at the middle against the big man, Don Drake.
Well, it is. The big man goes about 280, close to 300 pounds, and you just can't move him, and he's done an outstanding job, as has this Independence defense all year long. So it brings up 3rd and 4 for Plaquemine.
Well, Marty, if he weighs 280, he must be weighing himself on the scales at my house because he's more like 315. He is a big, huge fella. 3rd and 5 here for the Devils. Mirage barking out the signals. He will turn, hand the ball off on the option, pitches to Blanchard, gets to the outside, and will get the first down. Dragged down by Keith McLean there. Nice option play, something a little different here on the 3rd play, and they get positive yardage and have moved the chains.
Well, nice offensive opening series for Plaquemine. Obviously, when you're on the road against the number 2 ranked team in the state, that's a positive for you.
And we talked to the coaching staff before the game. They felt early on if they were on defense, they needed to shut them 3 and out. Well, Plaquemine has got a first down. This Tiger defense has been a little bit all year, but they're only giving up about a touchdown per game all season long. So one of the best defenses around. Tigers lining up with 5 men on the line. They turn. He's looking to throw the ball. Got a man going deep. Lobs it up for him. Albritton is beaten, and it is caught by number 43, Travis DeVault. Albritton got turned around, had pretty good coverage at the middle, but lost the ball, and they complete a pass, and they're in scoring position at the 22-yard line. First down for the Devils. We need the Tigers to step up here on defense, Marty.
Well, when you come into a first-round playoff game, obviously Independence is favored, Darrell, and maybe they've come out a little flat. You know, personally, I don't look for Plaquemine to continue this. You know, they're feeling each other out a little bit, so we'll just have to see. We need a big defensive stop from the Tigers.
And we will need to step up here and hold these Devils to a field goal here. You don't want to give up the early touchdown. 3-back set once again. They will turn and hand the ball off to number 32, Jay Crochet, and he'll only pick up about a yard there as Steve Mulkey in on the tackle along with number 83, Chad Falcone. So not much going on first down.
And, you know, if you look at Plaquemine, you know, Cy Morange, a senior quarterback, he's been a 3-year starter, and they got a 2nd-year coach in Tommy Minton who's done a great job. It's their first year in the playoffs in 6 years, Darrell, so, you know, they got to feel confident.
And they have a huge offensive line there, but this defensive line for the Tigers is massive also, so it will be see who can control the line of scrimmage here. Two-back set, double tight ends. They hand to Blanchard. He tries to get to the outside. Will turn the corner, and he's going to score. And the Tigers have come out here a little flat and given up an early touchdown. And I don't think they've been down too often this year, Marty. So we're going to have to see how they're going to react after Plaquemine has gone the distance and punched it in to take a 6-0 lead with 8:51 to go here in the first quarter.
Wow. Well, you know, if you're Independence, you got to just sit back and you felt each other out. No harm done, no foul. Plaquemine goes up 6-0. You just got to maintain your composure, and hey, you're in a ball game early on.
But you know what, Marty? Last week when the offense struggled, the defense stepped up and helped win the ball game. They've given up a touchdown. Let's see if the offense can step up and take that control of this game. 6-0, 8:51 here to go as they will go for two. They turn. They're going to run the option once again, and he slips inside of McLean. He was there to make the play and missed him. So Plaquemine takes an 8-0 lead with 8:51 to go in the first quarter. So the Tigers have come out here and not looked very good on this first defensive series. They've been in position to make plays, but have not done it. McLean there on the two-point conversion and Albritton on the big long pass were there in position to make the play, and just didn't come up with the football.
Well, I think Plaquemine, you know, after they picked up the first down, Darrell, they came out with a corner route, and Morange hit number 43, Travis Dialbout, and that kind of caught us off guard and the Independence defense off guard, and they hit a big play and they gained some confidence, and thus they drove it down to take an 8-0 lead. So Independence offensively will have to just stick to the game plan and get it going.
And back deep to receive in the middle of the field is LeBrandon Tofield. Also back is Otto Bonds and Devarius Best. And we saw what Mr. Tofield can do on a kickoff return last week against Salmon as he broke one for 96 yards and put them down at the 2-yard line for the winning touchdown. Set to kick off here, if I can read this number right, is number 80. That is Clark Krausen. And we saw Salmon take the opening kickoff and kick it straight up in the air, trying to avoid the run back, as you want to keep the ball out of Tofield's hands in open field as much as you can, because he can go the distance at any time, folks. Look for him maybe to kick it to the sideline, get it in somebody else's hands. And they kick it on the ground to the right side. Fallen on there by Devarius Best. Not a bad job there as they will take the ball at the 24-yard line. And once again, we see a team trying to keep the ball out of LeBrandon Tofield's hands. You're down 8-0 here early in the first quarter. First possession on offense. It is imperative that the Tigers step out here and try to establish some running game and maybe complete a pass or two. They have to at least get some positive yards to get field position in their favor here.
Well, I think Independence is going to throw more than usual this particular game because Plaquemine stacks all 11 men up at the line and they just come at you.
Two wide receivers to the short side of the field. Tofield, the deep setback, will go off the right side. He busts through the line for about 7 yards. And if he can get into the backfield when they got all the men on the line, it's going to be a long night for the Plaquemine Devils.
Well, if Plaquemine continues to keep 11 men up, he's going to break a couple tonight. And right there, as illustration, he broke through, but he just could not break away, and he picked up 7 yards. So, you know, Plaquemine, a gambling-type defense, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't.
Big plays can be made with the defense, and you can also make the big play against. And we saw LeBrandon after the game last week, and he was disappointed in his performance, although I felt like he had a pretty good game, played against one of the best defenses in the state. He's ready to go tonight. Pitch to Tofield to the outside. He's going to get to the corner, lowers his shoulder, picks up the first down in about 5 yards. So we've seen the speed, the quickness, and now we've seen the power as they pick up the first down.
Well, what I think Independence is doing is they're trying to lull Plaquemine to sleep. They're going to, obviously when you prepare for Independence, you prepare for Tofield, Darrell, and they're going to run him a couple times, and then they're going to hit him quick with a post pattern with Albritton across the middle. So they're gonna pound Tofield and pound him, and then they're gonna throw the ball and hit a big one.
And Antron Sieber can throw it with the best of them. Only a junior quarterback for the Tigers. Turns, will hand the ball to LeBrandon once again, and he's just running over people. Picks up about a 3-yard gain, maybe 4. And right now they seem content to play power football here and try to wear down this defensive line.
Well, just because you fall down 8-0, you don't go away from your game plan, and Independence has done this all year long, and they're going to stick with the game plan because it has worked and it will work. So they're not you down 8-0. You're not going to get scared or rattled.
Well, the defense came out, looked a little discombobulated there, a little bit out of sync, but the offense seemed to be hitting on all cylinders early here in this ball game with the running game. 2nd down and 6 for the Tigers. They will turn, and this time pitch to Tofield. He's hitting the backfield, breaks one tackle, cuts back inside, and a good run just to get back to the line of scrimmage as number 24 was in the backfield. Monkeithan Brown had the play read and came on a little blitz there from the corner and made the play and held him to no gain.
So right now, Independence facing a 3rd down and 6, and I would look for the tight end, Darrell. You know, they're playing man-to-man against Albritton and Williams, and, you know, if you watch film, you see them go to the outside receivers, but I just think that they're going to work the tight end a little more into the night.
Tight end has been open for some crucial plays for them in big games, but the out pattern to Williams has been their bread and butter pass play all year, or either the fly pattern to Albritton. So we'll see as Independence will call a timeout here. And we'd like to take this time to thank our sponsors. Fidelity Finance is locally owned and operated, located at 118 North Kate in downtown Hammond. Come by our office or give us a call at 429-8000 for all your financial needs. Also, Music Nonstop DJ Services. Rudy Kale and Brian Duncan are there for any of your parties, your dances, anything that you might have a musical need for. They are one of the finest DJ services around. Contact Rudy at 230-0988 or Brian Duncan at 543-0995.
And, Darrell, those guys can really work a crowd. They can get a crowd going, as I've seen firsthand several times. Rudy, when he's in action on the mic, there's none better.
And also Petro Truck Stop and Lucky Jacks. Thank you, Mr. Jack Rafael, for helping us out there. A big sponsor of Independence football. They're located across I-12 from the Hammond Square Mall. Go by, get you some gas, pick up your little goodies to go there. If you're going on a road trip, maybe heading down to Baton Rouge tomorrow, got to hit I-12. Go by and see them out there at Petro Truck Stop. 3rd down and 5, big 3rd down play as they will hand it to Tofield off the side. He's up the middle, one man to beat. The real deal, baby, is on the march, and he's going to score, Marty. And right there, the Tigers counter-punch and come back with a knockout blow to cut the lead to 8-6.
And, Darrell, they surprised me, and I think they surprised Plaquemine. They thought they were going to go to the pass, and right there, they ran a trap right up the middle, and he just busted it loose, and nobody was going to catch him.
And we talked about it. If you don't get him at the line, folks, you're not going to catch this young man. Touchdown number 35 on the season, and that is unbelievable. So 8-6, and the Tigers will go for 2 to try to tie this game up with 6:07 in the first quarter.
And right there, Darrell, if Plaquemine had any ideas or if they had any ideas of maintaining the momentum, LeBrandon Tofield just broke that momentum.
The big package with McLean and Courtney in the backfield. Tofield the deep set, 3 running backs, and they will throw to big Antoine Courtney, and he catches the ball and shows you what a fine athlete that young man is. Big number 90, the defensive lineman. They swing him out of the backfield, and he catches the 2-point conversion. This game is all knotted at 8 with 6:07 to go in the first quarter.
And that's just an unbelievable play call right there. They line up in a power I formation, everybody expecting Tofield to get the ball. You got an offensive lineman running a little out pattern right at the goal line, and Antron Sieber flips it to him for the 2-point conversion. Excellent execution.
Excellent execution and a couple of excellent calls by offensive coordinator Keith Corona down there in the box, doing a fine job here. Momentum has switched back to the Tigers, and these fans are back alive again. This could be a back-and-forth battle all night, Marty, as it looks. We talked to the coaching staff for the game, and they look for Plaquemine to make some big plays on offense, but they knew they could make some big plays also, and LeBrandon Tofield made a big one.
And, Darrell, Independence hadn't had a quarterback this good since Mark Willoughby in '85 just dismantled defenses. So Antron Sieber is taking over where Mark Willoughby left off.
And Sieber also doubles as a kicker. Will kick off, boots this one, a line drive kick. Will be picked up at the 9-yard line. Coming to the outside is number 89, Jermaine Georgetown. Breaks it up the middle, gets out to the 32, flag down. Back at about the 24-yard line. And that's going to be holding against Independence. Not very often you see a holding call against the team trying to stop the return. And unless the referee pointed the wrong way, and he did. So it is against Plaquemine. Will back them up inside their own 15-yard line. Be 1st down and 10. First series they completed one big pass play. The Tigers are looking for him to run the ball. I think it caught him off guard, but we know defensive back coach Joe Levine won't let that happen again. He had them on the bench talking to them while they were on offense, so they'll be ready to go this series.
Well, they will. I think, like you say, Plaquemine kind of came out and actually jump-started Independence. You know, they were a little flat, like I expected, and now they see that they're in a ball game. I look for Independence to really step it up.
Two-back set this time. Blanchard to deep back. Morange, the quarterback, turns. He pitches the ball out to Blanchard, and getting to the outside, and a nice open field tackle there by number 6, Devarius Best. Flag came down, looked like it might be a face mask, but that's twice we've seen him get to the outside against Independence, and that doesn't happen very often.
Well, one thing that if Independence has a weakness, which they don't have many, it would be the option play, in my opinion, because the games that I've seen teams get a lot of yardage, Gerald, have been on the option. Amite had a little success with it, and the few times that Salmon gained any yardage, I think it was an option. So if they have a weakness, which I don't think they have many, it could be against the option.
And what needs to happen here is a couple of those ends like Antoine Smith are going to need to get upfield and force the quarterback to pitch it earlier than he wants to, allowing the DB to come up and make the play. So first down at the 35, Plaquemine on the move once again. Two-back set, they turn, hand to the fullback on a little counter trap play, and there's nowhere to be found there as number 63, Nathan Hatfield, makes a tackle for a 1-yard gain.
And having said that, Darryl, I mean, Plaquemine, this Blanchard kid, he's got 1,300 yards for a reason. He's very quick.
So second down and 9 as the Tiger defense tries to step up here and stop this Plaquemine offense. Two-back set once again, the I formation, one receiver to the top half. They turn. This time they will hand to Blanchard on a little counter tray and nowhere to go. And once again, it was Hatfield on the play and Courtney in the area, so they're starting to read the plays a little better, Marty, and the defensive guys are starting to step up and make some hits on them.
Well, one thing Independence does very well, Darryl, is that they make great adjustments. If you've seen, as we've done 7 of their games, they've always adjusted well. They may have let you come down and get something going on previous series, but they always seem to make the right adjustments.
And
they
come in with the nickel package with Antron Sieber and LeBrandon Tofield coming into the defensive backfield. Right now, we also want to take time to thank our sponsors tonight. Without them, we wouldn't be able to put these games on the air. We're also going on the road next week, should the Tigers win, to wherever they may travel to. Fidelity Finance, locally owned and operated there in downtown Hammond at 118 North Kate Street. Call them at 429-8000. We know Christmas is coming up. You need a little extra cash or you need a loan, go by and see them. Have a good Christmas. They will take care of any of your financial needs you might have. And also Petro Truck Stop and Lucky Jack's out there near the mall by across on I-12. Go by, get some gas. Tell Mr. Jackerfeld thank you for helping get us on the air. And last but certainly not least, Music Nonstop DJ Services. I've known Rudy Kell since he was a young man, and also Brian Duncan. They do a fantastic job. You've got an office party, a Christmas party, family get-together, high school dance, whatever you may need, these guys can do it all, can play any kind of music you want and do a fine job for you.
I mean, these guys are outstanding.
So third down and 9 as the Tiger defense has stepped up here in this second series. They bring one man in motion, I backfield, both receivers to the bottom. They turn and fake. They got a little man out in the flat there. He's throwing long across the field. It's going to be incomplete. And he tried to roll left and throw the football, which is terribly hard to do, but there's nobody better at doing it than Antron Sieber, as we've seen him do that all year to perfection. But the Tiger defense steps up and stops them, and we'll get the ball back. 4:12 to go here in the first quarter in an 8-8 ball game.
And that was a good job by the Independence defense after allowing a first drive score by Plaquemine, stepping up and holding the 3 and out. So they will get the ball back offensively and go against that gambling defense of the Plaquemine Green Devils. Back deep to receive is Kenny Albritton.
And they are going to sack him there. And I can't see. I want to see this number because the young man came through. That was Chad Falcone. Didn't make the tackle but caused him to pull the punt down. So there is a flag on the field. And it is going to be against the Tigers, I believe. We'll have to wait and see the call. Holding against Independence, and what a major call there, as that could have been turned the momentum around real big, but it will give the Plaquemine Devils a first down and a major penalty here early in this first quarter.
And I don't know how it could be holding. The only thing it could be is for the defensive player to grab, for example, the center and pull him out the way and let the other guy go right out the gut, Darrell. That's the only way you can have a holding, and that must be what it is, because from my vantage point, I did not see it.
Now, does the holding penalty go from the line of scrimmage or from the point of the holding? It remains to be seen. If it is 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, it will be a first down, but that's not true. They marked it from way back where the punter was. And it is first down at the 48-yard line for Plaquemine, as these fans are up. Don't like the call here, but for the Tigers, you got to blow all that out of your mind. You played good defense for 4 downs. Get back out there and do it once again. You can stop this team. Starting to get a little penetration by the defensive line.
And right there, I don't know if that was a good call. I'm going to say it's not a good call.
Well, from our vantage point, we didn't see what they called. Not sure who they called it on, but it is first down and 10 for the Devils. Back to the 3-back set as Mirage takes a snap, will turn, hand to Blanchard off the right side, breaks 1 tackle, and gets the ball out for about an 8-yard gain, finally dragged down by Steve Mulkey. And late in there, we saw number 71, Quentin Jones, throw a block on somebody after the play was over, and they're starting to get a little heated down on the field. Emotions running real high here for this playoff game. There is a full moon out tonight, Marty.
Yes, there is, but hopefully the full moon doesn't mean bad luck for the Tigers, as this Plaquemine Green Devil team, Darrell, has executed and looked good early on.
2nd and 2, they turn, hand the ball to fullback, hit at the line by Mulkey, and he won't pick up much. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short, as I don't think they got the first down there. Look for them maybe to go back to the option here, Marty. It has worked every time they've used it. And if I'm the defensive coordinator for the Tigers, I'm going to be looking for that.
Well, you're right, Darrell, because they have had the success that they've had with Blanchard, and Morange doesn't look like he's willing to run the ball. It looks like he's either going to hand it off or pitch it. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is the quarterback is not a threat.
No factor in the running game, doesn't seem, as Blanchard off the right side, stacked up, will squirm his way forward, and I think he'll pick up the first down. Courtney had pushed the pile back, but they could not stop him. He will pick up the first down as the Green Devils, on their 2nd possession, aided by the big penalty, are marching or inside the 41-yard line of the Tigers.
And Blanchard's not a very big guy, Darrell. They've listed him at 5'7", 165, and I'd say that's very generous, as he looks to be about Joey Shalacy's size. And he just squirmed his way through the middle, and honestly, he's kind of hard to find.
Was that squirmed his way or wormed his way? I'm not sure there. So first down and 10 from the 41-yard line. The Devils with a 3-back set once again. 1 receiver to the high side. They will turn. It's going to be a pass play. Got a man open. And number 7, Charles Tofield, had him covered but never got the head around to see the pass coming, or he might have picked it off. But they do stop him on first down there with 1:46 here to go in the first quarter. It'll bring up a 2nd and 10. And I just don't see Plaquemine being very successful throwing the football. They don't look real comfortable with it. They do it as a change of pace, but they're going to have to run the football to win this ball game.
And I couldn't have said it better, Darrell. They do not look comfortable throwing the ball. Running is their bread and butter. And as the game wears on, I would say that Independence is going to wear them out, so they're going to have to throw the ball.
And watching the sidelines, Coach Joe Levine positioning his defensive backs, and he's into it. Blanchard to the outside and nowhere to go. Keith McLean on the tackle for about a 1-yard gain there. Drove him down the line and just pinned him to the ground there, bringing up another 3rd and long for the Devils. And once again, we see them bring in the nickel package with Brandon Tofield and Antron Sieber coming in the defensive backfield. They'll have 6 DBs here, expecting maybe a pass, but watch for the option. They have had success with it.
And with 1:17 to go in the first quarter, your score is Plaquemine 8 and Independence 8. We're here in the jungle at Tiger Stadium where the Independence Tigers and the Plaquemine Green Devils have opened the first round of the LHSAA playoffs.
And this Tiger defense is looking for a bone to gnaw on here on 3rd and 9. Courtney coming upfield. He's got time to throw it. Open the middle and stuck there by number 6, Devarius Best. Put a lick on the receiver. That was 81, Fred Patterson. So a good job by the Tiger defense, forcing Plaquemine to punt from the 41-yard line.
And you got to love that if you coach Joe Levine coaching the defensive backs. The young defensive back coming up, although he did not catch the ball, he laid a lick on him, so he'll think twice about coming across the middle next time.
And he won't be happy going to tell Mr. Morange, don't throw it so high and leave my ribs exposed, because he got stuck. The punt is up and away, a high driving kick to the left side, angling out of bounds, and will go out at about the 18-yard line. Got him inside the 20, but I don't think that's quite what they wanted out of the punter there. Thought they could pin him a little deeper. So here come the Tigers out for their second offensive series, and the first series, Marty, was all of Brandon Tofield, not one pass, as they looked to just pound the ball. And what a better weapon to pound it with than Brandon Tofield.
Well, that's exactly what Independence does. They use LeBrandon Tofield to set up everything in their offense. If you don't stop him, they're going to keep going to him. And until Plaquemine shows that they can stop him, they're just going to keep pounding the big guy.
And this time they come out in a one-back set with DiMaggio in the slot. We've seen this series for him once before. They turn, hand the ball to Tofield, got a crease to the left side, picking up positive yardage, driving down for about a 7-yard gain. And if he's going to get holes like that, he's going to run for a lot of yardage tonight, and look for him to break one here and there as long as he can stay on the field health-wise.
And we talk about LeBrandon Tofield a lot, but the offensive line has to get a lot of this credit. Brett Anzalone, Stephen Mulkey, Kerry Watkins, and I hope I don't leave anybody else out, but I'll get to you in a second. Briscoe Brown, they do a great job.
Weatherford, the tight end, they all do a fine job blocking up front. Once again, it's Tofield. Hit at the line there by number 40, Harmon Christophe. And, I'm struggling a little bit with these Plaquemine names, but it'll bring up a 3rd and short here as we end the first quarter of an 8-8 ball game. And Plaquemine came out early and set the tempo, but the Tigers have taken back the momentum. Only slowed down by a penalty on the last series, but they need to pick up a first down here, Marty. And at this time, we'd like to thank our sponsors once again, Fidelity Finance in Hammond. They're located at 118 North Kate Street, downtown Hammond. Go by the office or give them a call at 429-8000 for all of your financial needs. With Christmas coming up or whatever you may need, you might need a new car. Marty Morgan might need a new hairpiece. Whatever you may need money for, go by and see them over there at Fidelity Finance. Also, Music Nonstop DJ Services. Uncle Rudy, 230-0988. Brian Duncan, 543-0995. Call them up. They'll come out. They'll make your party.
Oh, they can. They were at the old folks home last week, and they had 4 90-year-olds doing the worm on the floor, so they can really pump it up. And also Petro Truck Stop and Lucky Jack's. Jack Raphael, local, he is the man to see for anything. He's the big man on the block, I like to say, and he's a big Independence Tiger supporter, and we'd like to thank Jack Raphael for sponsoring tonight's game.
So 3rd down and about 2 here. Backfield with DiMaggio, the fullback. Sieber looks over, got 9 men in the box, as we say. Tofield once again has got a hole, slips down, but he picks up the first down. So they did their job, moved the chain, but had he been able to make back the cutback, it was open field. Marty, they got everybody within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage, and when this young man gets through the crack, everybody gets on the edge of their seat.
And they certainly do. And, we talk about the linemen doing a good job all year, and right there, Philip DiMaggio did a nice job springing him as he put a nice block on number 44. That was Philip Rivers, and enabled LeBrandon Tofield to get the first down.
And pretty soon, they're going to throw the football. All Brittany has just been used as a decoy, but he's going to go deep, and here it comes. He's got him beat by 3 yards. The pass is out there, a little underthrown, and hit number 89, Jermaine Georgetown, in the back. The fans are booing, but I don't think there was a call there. But he had 3 steps on him. Had the pass been on the money, that was 6.
And that might have been the first pass that Antron Sieber that I've seen all year that he has not been on the money, Daryl.
And like I talked about, he has lulled them to sleep here, and All Britain put one move on and just blew by him. So they're going to come back to that later on. 2nd down and 10 from the 30-yard line as the Tigers have 11:31 here to go in the second quarter. They are tied at 8. So the one backfield set again with DiMaggio in the slot. Williams to the high side of the field and Lionel Joseph to the low side. Antron Sieber hands the Tofield off the right side. He's going to be hit down hard by Wilfred Jones after a gain of only about 2 yards, bringing up 3rd and long.
And Darrell, the deeper we get into this ball game and the score stays at this pace, all it does for Plaquemine is give them confidence, and it tells them that, hey, we can play with these guys.
Well, you know something, Marty, though, it's a fast-moving ball game. This is only the second time that Independence has had the ball, so as of right now, they scored every time they touched it, but the clock just continues to move here. The Tigers have shown that they can stop Plaquemine, and Plaquemine has to show they can stop this Tiger offense. 2 receivers to the top of your screen. It is a I backfield. Sieber looking to throw. He's going to roll to right. Got a man wide open is Albritton. Beat him by 5 steps. And Jones once again, excuse me, that's Georgetown. The ball a little bit underthrown or scored, but let me tell you one thing. They came with a blitz, and LeBrandon Tofield pancaked the man and gave Sieber time to throw the football. Big play there as they are at the 27-yard line, 1st and 10.
What they were going to run is they were going to run an out pattern to Albritton, and Sieber escaped the would-be tackler, and Albritton did a nice job adjusting his route as he cut it up the field, and Sieber spotted him and passed it complete for the 27-yard gain down to the Plaquemine 26-yard line. So a great job of ad-libbing by Sieber and Albritton.
One backfield, they'll turn and hand to Tofield. He fakes it, Sieber on the keeper, got the lane to the outside. One man to beat with Albritton blocking. He's going to score from 26 yards out. Antron Sieber, a beautiful play as they faked it in the line to Tofield, and Sieber just turned the corner, and Albritton made enough of a block to get him to the corner of the end zone. But I want to go back to the play before, Marty. I haven't seen a better block than what we saw Tofield give on the blitz. Normally you just stop the guy, but he pancaked him and allowed Sieber to complete the pass, and now this Tiger offense is rolling as they've scored on 2 consecutive series.
And that's another dimension a lot of people don't see, as Sieber does not run the ball, and he can run the ball, but he chooses not to, as he doesn't have to, as he usually sits in the pocket and has time to throw. And not many people know this, but I know it. He's just as good a running quarterback as he is a thrower, and right there he showed that he has the ability to run.
And Weatherford misses the extra point, so it is now 14-6. And you're correct to talking about Antron Sieber being a great running quarterback, but he's a little slight in build. He's wiry, and you don't want to see him taking too many hits, so they've elected to let him throw the football, and the young man has great poise in the pocket to stay in there and throw the football, but this time used his quickness and his speed to get to the outside. Great call by the coaching staff.
Well, it was, and it was something we haven't seen all year, and, you know, they have a ton of plays that they run, and everything they seem to run works because they execute so well. And they do exactly what they work with what they have, and they make the right calls at the right time. They set everything up with Tofield, and then they feed off of that.
And what a beautiful Friday night here as we are here in Independence. What a night for Tangipahoa Parish football. 6 teams to make the playoffs. Jules Sumner is in the playoffs. Kentwood, Amite, Hammond, Ponchatoula, and also the Independence Tigers, number 2 ranked in the state.
And Darrell, you know, getting back to this game, Independence up 14-8. You know, everybody picked them to win. We figure they win, and hopefully they will win. You know, you had to figure the first round. They're obviously favored. They coming in a little flat, but Plaquemine scored first, and they've just tuned it up a notch. And I think Plaquemine's in for a long night from here on out.
And a nice play there by Jeremy Cooper as he drags him down at the 32. But Plaquemine comes in this game, and they scored once, which gives them a little bit of momentum on their side of the football. But this is a big series here because the Independence came out and stopped them not once. They gave them a first down and penalty, but twice. And if they can't get something going here, you don't want to let Independence have the ball back in the first half because they could open it up here because they have not shown they can stop the Tigers on offense.
And as Plaquemine was hooping and hollering early, you kind of see some of their heads bowing down and a little tension on their side.
I formation there. And that's Hatfield in the backfield also with Big Drake. And they drag him down for about a 1-yard loss there. And they're trying to run this option here with the quarterback. And right now, Marty, I'm just not sure that Morange is an effective enough runner to challenge the defense. So they're starting to go to that outside back and say, all right, you run it. Let's see what you can do.
Well, and I couldn't agree with you more. What Morange's job is to do is not to make any mistakes and direct this offense. And he has done a good job of that. And usually, I would say I haven't seen Plaquemine play, but 80% of the time he's either going to hand it to the fullback or pitch it because he hasn't shown he has the ability to run the ball.
So 2nd and 9. Mirage once again barking out the signals. They will turn and fake the ball to Blanchard, trying to throw the ball. Got a man open, but overthrown. And closing speed there by Devarius Best as he looked like he had a step, and he closed in on him, bringing up another 3rd and long. And this Tiger team is starting to feel that they're a better team. They're starting to feel that what they can do to this team, and they're starting to execute right now. This is a big play here.
And they've gotten a wake-up call, and I think they've woken up.
You don't awake a sleeping giant, and they did that on the first series when they rammed it down their throat and scored, but the Tigers have come back and scored on 2 consecutive possessions. 3rd down and 9. And we've seen Plaquemine kind of go away from the option, Marty, something that worked for him early. They turn and hand to Blanchard off the right side, and they miss the tackle. Might go, except for number 7, Tofield runs him down, and Antron Sieber lays a lick on him, but they had 2 people in position to make the play, and the young man cut it back upfield and showed a lot of speed there, so a little life put back into the Plaquemine Green Devils.
And just when it looked like Independence had them where they wanted them, Jules Blanchard broke out, and he picked up a 42-yard gain down to the 28-yard line. And, Darrell, that young man can flat-out run.
Very nice run there by Blanchard as he looked like he would be stopped there for not the first down, and he cut it back up the middle, and had it not been for Tofield's speed, he would have scored. So 1st and 10 for the Devils at the 29. Tigers defense. Blanchard up the middle of the field once again. They don't tackle him, but then Antoine Smith comes around the corner and stops him along with Antoine Courtney and number 83, Chad Falcone. So they stopped him up there for no gain, so 2nd and 10. So the Tigers playing much better defense, even though they gave up the 1 big run play.
Well, they are, and they're a sound defensive ball club. And in any ball game, you're going to give up a couple big plays. That's just out of aggression, and sometimes everybody's not and reading the right keys, and they're not in a position to make the play. And Blanchard has done just a good job.
Well, that's the bad part. They were in position to make the play, and the young man made a better play on the run. 2nd and 10. And they are taking a long count, trying to draw them off guard. They turn and pitch to the outside, and there's a man there, and that's Tofield, as Charleston, Germany had nowhere to go as Tofield read the play and dropped him for a 1 or 2 yard loss.
And good defensive job right there by Hatfield. And that's a loss of 4, so bring up a 3rd down and 13 for the Green Devils. And I would, looking at their special teams, this is 2-down territory.
Well, obviously, I don't think they're real comfortable with the special teams. When you go for a 2-point conversion on your first score, you can't be too comfortable with your kicking game. So it looks like it might be 4-down territory for them here. 3-back set once again. It's the first time we've seen the Tigers stop the option all night. They turn. He's looking to throw the ball, trying to go deep. And Kenny Albritton all over him there as the pass was intended for number 43, Travis DeBott. And Albritton stayed with him the whole step. And I do not think that they have shown that they got a receiver that can blow by Albritton on that side. And the young man is quite an athlete there as a defensive back.
And he did a nice job right there as he was in the ball's hip pocket, and it was just thrown out of bounds by Mirage. So to bring up 4th down and 13 for Independence.
So we'll see what the Green Devils come up with here. 3-back set once again. Albritton on the island to the outside with the receiver. Tigers fans coming alive here. 4th down. Mirage looking to throw the crossing pattern. Albritton was there. A little contact, but no call. So the Tigers will take over at the 33-yard line, 1st down. And that could be a big series right here as they went for it, and it gives the Tigers great field position.
And that's a good defensive job by Independence as they bent a little bit, giving up the long run, but they held Plaquemine in check, and they did not get in the end zone. So the Independence offense will take over in good field position at their own 34-yard line with 7:03 to go before halftime, and Independence leading 14-8.
So the 1-back set, once again, it is LeBrandon Tofield, Williams to the high side, and Albritton to the low side. On the last series, he beat the man twice deep, so you're going to have to watch for that. And they're looking for it once again, well covered, and Sieber lobs it up. They're trying to make the recovery, And that's going to be picked off there. A ill-advised throw as Georgetown this time had it covered, and Sieber threw it up for grabs and threw the interception.
And Sieber just could not. He was throwing off his back foot right there, Darrell, and good job of Georgetown coming back and making the interception. I don't think he set his feet. Had he set his feet, he may have completed it, but he was throwing off his back foot.
But it was great coverage there by Georgetown, and the Tigers turn it over here. First turnover of the ball game, puts the defense back on the field as Plaquemine will have it first down and 10 at the 33-yard line. I formation. And there's a quick flag there. I'm not sure if somebody lined up offside or somebody moved. We'll wait for the call. And it's going to back up the Devils and put them back 5 yards for a legal motion. Lined up in the neutral zone there, did the Plaquemine Green Devils, bringing up 1st and 15, so not a good way for them to start this series. The Tigers defense has really stepped up here, and they're starting to read the keys better and be in position to make more plays. So we'll see if they can continue that trend here as the Green Devils have it once again. 1st and 15. They turn, hand the ball to Blanchard up the middle, inside. He's going to pick up a few yards, stopped by Derek Hunter there. Picks up about 3 or 4 there, bringing up 2nd and 11.
So Plaquemine continues to pound Blanchard up the middle, and right there, he may have gained 1. So let's bring up 2nd down and 12.
They stay in the I formation here with a double tight end set. Morange, your quarterback. Takes the ball, hands to the fullback this time on the option, pitches the ball, and that's number 5, Otto Bond, sticking the pitch man. And right now the outside guys are coming up taking the pitch man. They want to see if the quarterback can run the football. He's still electing the pitch, and a big hit dropped him for a 2-yard loss, and it puts him in 3rd and long again. And we've seen teams all year long try to run 3rd and long against this Tiger defense and have not been successful all year. And they once again bring in the nickel package here looking for the pass play. 5:45 to go here in the second quarter. Tigers lead it 14-8. Mirage with 2 backs in an offset position. 1 receiver way wide to the bottom of your screen. They're running the option once again. Got 1 blocker out front. Everybody pursuing. And Charles Tofield played off the block and made the play. And a great play by Tofield as the ball squirted loose. Smith walks into the end zone, but they're going to call it down there. But they hold him on 3rd down, forcing the Plaquemine Green Devils to punt. And the Tigers will get it back with under 5 minutes to go here, trying to add another touchdown.
They ran that option to the left side, and somebody stood up Blanchard, and I mean Tofield came from his linebacker position and just laid a awesome lick on him, popping the ball loose, but they said he was down, so Plaquemine will be forced to punt, and back deep to receive is the ever so dangerous Kenny Albritton.
And we're going to get a roughing the kicker call as Lionel Joseph laid out to block the kick, and that will be a penalty against the Tigers, and it will give Plaquemine a 1st down as it is a 15-yard penalty. So another bad mistake by the Tigers when they would have had the ball at the 40-yard line. Very close call there as he laid out, might have nicked the foot. We might need to give the kicker an Oscar on that one, but they will get the call and get a 1st down there. As Monty Miglasio, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, probably not, but Marty Morgan is the Rhodes Scholar out of the crew.
Well, right now, Plaquemine is getting all the breaks thus far, and the defensive penalties and the mistakes that Independence is making is keeping Plaquemine in this ball game.
And a team like this at 7-3, you don't want to let them hang around too long, but they are hanging around. And right now, if they can get something going here with 4:42 in the second quarter, they could possibly take the lead here or get closer. Tigers defense been on the field an awful lot here in the second quarter. Turn, hand the ball to Blanchard, trying to get to the outside, cuts back in the middle, picks up about 4 yards, and a nice tackle there by Devarius Best, stopping for a 4-yard gain, but once again they got the corner on the defense.
And they did, and they're just turning in the ends. They're turning Independence's defensive ends inside, and defensive cornerbacks for the Tigers are having to make the tackles. So at halftime, Independence is going to have to make some adjustments.
And all year long, we saw the linemen and the linebackers get penetration upfield and stop those kind of plays, and they're not getting against this big offensive line for the Green Devils. So our backfield once again on second and a short 6. They turn, hand the ball to Blanchard, straight up the middle. Copeland comes across from the outside, tackles him for about a 2-yard gain, bringing up about a 3rd and 3 as the clock is ticking, under 4 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And you don't like leaving your defense on the field this long. No matter how good they are, they're eventually going to get a little tired here. So they need to come up with a big play here, trying to force Plaquemine to punt, although at the 50-yard line we might see them go for it once again.
And Plaquemine, Darrell, in no hurry, as they are just methodically hanging on to the ball, taking their time, and not allowing Independence offense to get on the field.
And I think that word you were looking for there was matriculating, Marty. As Morange drops back, throws the ball, it's going to be caught by number 43, Travis DeBott, but a nice play there by Kenny Albritton. Hit him as he caught it, and the young man hung on for the first down. So Green Devils marching here with 3:09 to go in the second quarter. They are inside the 43-yard line of the Tigers.
And Moran right there had a little time, just a simple out route to DeBalt, and he put the ball right on the money, and DeBalt picked up the first down. So Plaquemine moves it inside Independence territory down at their 44-yard line with 3:01 to go and Independence leading 14-8.
Offset backfield with the 2 backs here. Blanchard is your deep back. He will turn and take the ball at the right side. 3 men there and nowhere to go as big number 59, Don Drake, lays on top of him, and his big Antoine Courtney grabbed him by the legs, and that's a lot of weight on top of you, pal.
That's 2 big fellas right there, and you know, we talk about how little Blanchard is, but he's a pretty tough fella, Darrell, and he just squirts his way in there and makes pretty good moves.
I don't know if I'd want to have to cook the pregame meal for those big guys, but I'm sure they can eat. And they are lined up across from a big offensive line, and right now they're doing a pretty good job here as Plaquemine has been unable to put anything consistently on offense since the first series. 2nd and 10. Turning to throw the ball, trying to get the tight end. It's going to be picked off by Best, trying to get to the outside. He stiff arms the man and goes out of bounds at the 46-yard line. And another little altercation on the field there. And the Tigers do not need that as they are in position here with 2:02 to go to try to get another score on the board.
And right there, good job right there for Best, reading it as he looked like number 85 for the Green Devils. Tony Mendoza was open, but Otto Bonds came up from its safety position. That was Best, and made the interception. So Independence getting a turnover down to the Plaquemine 45-yard line with a chance to add to its lead.
Williams and Joseph to the top of your screen. They will turn, hand to Tofi off the right side, running hard, picks up about 3 yards there. DiMaggio leading the block on the way, but gang tackled there is a nice job by Plaquemine. And we saw another little altercation there on the return there, and it looked like big Antoine Courtney in on it. And I don't know if you want to get that young man fired up if you're having to play against him. When he comes to play, he's one of the best around. So 2nd and 7 here. Tofield will be the lone setback. Joseph and Williams in the game at receiver, split. DiMaggio in the slot to the high side. He comes in motion across the formation. They will turn. Tofield to the right side, gets through the hole, and gets bumped down there after about a 2-yard gain. So it will be 3rd and about 6.
And right there, Darrell, it was a counter, and he was just 1 man away from breaking it all away. And with a 1:10 to go, and Independence leading 14-8, 3rd down and 7.
Clock ticks down to 1 minute, Marty, and they're taking an awful lot of time in this area of the field. I'm sure they have all their timeouts left, or 2 timeouts left, excuse me. 3rd down and a long 6, Tofield the lone setback. We have not seen Albritton in the game recently at wide receiver. Sieber rolls out, got the out pattern, puts it on the money. That's Williams. And a smart play by the young man as he goes down, but the clock stops to move the chain. And a flag goes down late. I think they might get a face mask tacked on top of it. So the Tigers are in business once again. They'll be knocking at the door.
And right there, Williams ran an out pattern, a 12-yard out pattern, and Sieber hit him right on the money, and he had the presence of mind to get out of bounds and pick up the first down.
And you know, Marty, we talked about it earlier. This young man, Sieber, can roll to his left and throw the football better than anybody I've seen in high school in a long time. And they are going to be in position as the ball will rest at the 13, 1st and 10 with 40 seconds to go. Timeout by the Tigers as they will talk to this team and let them know. I'm sure Coach Baggs is going to let them know, hey, guys, we need to punch this one in. This could be detrimental to Plaquemine going into the halftime, knowing that they're down 2 touchdowns. If they're going to allow them to hang around here, and also Weatherford has mixed an extra point. So you don't want to settle for the field goal here. You got to want to punch it in.
And we'd like to thank some of our sponsors. Tonight's game being sponsored by Music Nonstop DJ Services. That's Rudy at 230-0988 and Brian at 543-0995. That's Music Nonstop DJ Services. Rudy and Brian, they do a nice job. Tonight's game also being brought to you by Fidelity Finance. They're locally owned and operated at 118 North Kate Street in downtown Hammond. Come by our office or give us a call at 429-8000 for all your financial needs. And also the Petro Truck Stop and Lucky Jack's. That's Jack Rathel. That's across from I-12 from Hammond Square Mall. Go see Jack Rathel, a big-time supporter of Independence football.
And you know, Marty, Rudy Kell reminds me a lot of Chinese food. You hear him one time and an hour later you want to hear him again. He's that good, folks.
I don't get it, but I guess you're right.
Tofield, your lone setback. Sieber to throw the ball, throwing the corner route to Albritton. What a great catch there as he lobbed it over the shoulder, and Albritton made the catch. And once again, German could not come up with the play, and the Tigers have punched it in here with 35 seconds to go. The score is 20-8. Look for them to go for the 2-point conversion here to try to have a 14-point lead going into the locker room.
And there's just no way in the world to defend that play. A fade pattern, and he made a Willie Mays catch right there, and Sieber made a John Elway touch pass, and just a beautiful throw and a beautiful catch, and there's no way to defend it.
20-8 the score here. Tigers have jumped out to a 12-point lead this late in the first half with only 35 seconds to go as they go for 2. The big backfield with DiMaggio and Courtney, and Plaquemine will call a timeout here. And they want to keep this inside of 2 touchdowns, so they're going to have to step up on defense and stop the Tigers. The Tigers have pretty much have cruised on offense except for the 1 interception, so they got to be pleased with that. And the defense has really stepped up here after that first series and stopped Plaquemine on